forgot what it's like to sleep next to a person who gives a shit whether or not they can see you tomorrow. There's 8 inches outside and it's 20 degrees, but 104 here gave me some heat just to borrow. Now I'm a little bit burning, too hot to the touch. I was larger than life, your celebrity crush. No implication or grandiose plan to unfurl. Chase after me like a moth to the flame. You were dipping and dodging and dancing with rain. Not smothered, just steamy, still manic and dreamy. No, girl, ask what I want, not sure. Fingers on fire, yeah, my hands getting tired. It's like playing cat's cradle with a live wire, but we need to. Looking outside through a tinted window, still stroke your hair when it's wet from the snow. It won't freeze you. Cause I'm a little bit burning, too hot to the touch. I was larger than life, your celebrity crush. No implication or grandiose plan to unfurl. Chase after me like a moth to the flame. You were dipping and dodging and dancing with rain. Not smothered, just steamy, still manic and dreamy. No, girl, ask what I want, not sure. Ask what I want, not sure. Ask what I want, I'm not sure. I wish I was just happy. No reason, no rhyme, not a footnote to a future for the 5th goddamn time. I wish I didn't doubt everything that you said when you're scratching my back, one eye open in bed. Done being the person who makes them realize that there's more to life than just chaos and blue eyes. I wish I weren't the drama, too hard to be true. Not a subject of a secret everyone sees right through.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Alive and Loud. My name is Dawn Violet Todd and I am joined today by a very special guest, Ellie Hart. Thanks for coming on the show.
Of course, anytime.
Oh, of course. Well, why don't you introduce yourselves to the viewers at home and just tell them what you're all about.
My name's Ellie Hart. I play what has been described as indie emo sad girl music. Just excited to have the opportunity to actually, this is the first time most of these songs have been recorded other than like live videos of them.
Well, that makes us feel special, of course, gives the viewers at home a little something special. But you perform quite a lot live around here, don't you? And in particular at Howard's, which I know is a place that's very special to you. So what's the deal with Howard's?
So I am a bartender at Howard's. I book at Howard's. I'm slowly but surely convincing all my friends to work at Howard's. And I've only, as Ellie Hart, I've only ever played at Howard's. But another band that I play bass in called Equipment also plays at Howard's. And I convinced, in the same vein of slowly but surely convincing people to work at Howard's, one of my bandmates' partners, I was like, come be a bartender, and she did. And then my bandmate, I was like, we really need a door guy, and you're here a lot. Will you please come work for us?
That's awesome. Well, it's not just like dragging in your friends to work there. I know you also write a lot of songs about Howard's, don't you?
I do. It's my EP, whenever it comes out, it's going to be called Club H, because the full name of Howard, it's Howard's Club H.
Yeah.
And a lot of the songs I've written at least partially about, or at least mention in one way or another, the bar, some of which I've actually written at the bar, because I have 2 guitars. One of them I keep at home, and the other one I keep behind the bar.
Nice.
So when it's really slow, I'll be,
Always need something to do,
Yeah, exactly. Like, what am I supposed to do? Clean?
Old dishes staying dirty. We're running out of soap. Reaching out for anything, but not holding on to hope. Scrape my knees on concrete. Spill blood across the floor. Took a backroom brawl to realize you've never been mad at me before. So you can tell me it I wasn't enough, and not mean it. I've settled for less, but I'd still believe you. I gave it my all when you only gave it your best. Bandages won't do it. Clean wounds with gin and words. Feel guilty for the fighting our friends probably overheard. Discussion turns to yelling. It's cutting cold and curt. Did you say it 'cause you meant it? Did you say it 'cause it hurt? So you can tell me it I wasn't enough, and not mean it. I've settled for less, but I'd still believe you. I gave it my all when you only gave it your best. And people say it's normal, but for 3 months you've been haunted by the guilt of losing something that you never even wanted. One last secret stays mine, one more card under the table. It's not that I'm unwilling, I'm just unable. So you can tell me I wasn't enough and not mean it. I've settled for less, but I'd still believe you. I gave it my all when you only gave it your best.
Well, you mentioned equipment earlier, right? And you're the bass player in equipment, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But obviously you appearing for a solo today. So what is that like in terms of interacting with a band versus writing solo?
So I started, I joined equipment right around the same time that I started writing solo stuff, and they could not be more different. Like, at the same time, when you're playing, with 3 other people, you have more of a, shield because there's a lot going on. But the pressure, you still feel pressure because those 3 other people are relying on you. Whereas when you're just playing solo, it's a lot more vulnerable, and you're the only person who can mess up. And I don't know, it's just an interesting dynamic, and I'm glad that I get to do both sides of it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you do any songwriting with equipment?
So I actually only picked up bass 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm getting more into the songwriting process with equipment, but for some of our upcoming releases, I, wasn't really involved with that just because I didn't feel ready, and the rest of the band had been together for a while. So I was like, let me just, work on that. Y'all can work that stuff out. I will play whatever you want me to. But I feel like was not at the time it was being recorded ready to take that step, but I'm getting there.
Nice, that's fair. No, that's awesome. Yeah, very cool. So I know another project that you're very passionate about is something called Lead DIY. So tell me about that. What's that all about?
So Lead DIY, it stands for Lighting and Epilepsy Awareness Development in the DIY scene. Essentially what we do is we send out laminated posters, and we also have them online, so you could just print them out if you wanted, for free to venues, artists, pretty much whoever wants them, to hang. It's kind of a stoplight system. There's a green sign that you hang if, kind of have low movement lights or stable lights, or if you're not sure, yellow sign, it says caution, maybe just keep an eye out. And then red is you are using strobes and lasers at this show. Good luck. Mm-hmm. But I have epilepsy, and that was something that I was starting to notice as I was getting more involved in live music. So I was like, maybe someone should say something about this.
Yeah. So when did that project start?
Oh gosh, that project started over 4 years ago now, which is crazy.
That's very cool. And I know you mentioned before the interview that you've only been living in BG for about 2.5 years. So I imagine that's kind of traveled with you into the various DIY scenes that you've moved throughout.
Yeah. So I still do. In 2019, I was touring a lot as a tour manager. So I would just, print a bunch of signs at home, laminate them, and bring them with me on tour and, hand them out to venues and talk to people about it. And most places have been very receptive to it. I got sent a picture the other day, a couple months ago, from my friend who lives in New York City. Webster Hall had our signs hanging up, and they cut out the branding Webster Hall, but it's just cool. I don't care about the branding. It's just cool to see the idea grow,
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm sorry for letting you see a life and frown turned upside down, tears and roses on my cheeks. I'm guilty, I've entered my plea of wondering exactly what it is you see in me. When we're far away, I'll sit and pray for safe return, 'cause I'll miss you, for lack of a better term. Wish it didn't take me this long to see your eyes so bright and a smile so wide you can hardly hide your teeth. I'm guilty, I've entered my plea, wondering exactly what it is you see in me. When we're far away, I'll sit and pray for safe return, 'cause I want you, for lack of a better term. I'm jealous of how easy you sleep, 'cause I can never tire, you're all I admire. That's a secret I won't keep. I'm guilty, I've entered my plea, wondering exactly what it is you see in me. When we're far away, I'll sit and pray for safe return, 'cause I'll miss you, I want you, and I love you, for lack of better term. For lack of a better term. For lack of a better term.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about before we start wrapping up here? Any messages or anything you think is interesting?
Equipment's going on tour for 4 days in January. Very cool. With Arcadia Gray and Snow Ellett. I think it's Wisconsin, Chicago, Indianapolis, Cleveland.
Okay, wow, yeah, you guys are getting around a little bit for sure.
But also, I just work here. I don't know.
Well, that's awesome. Well, if the people are looking to find some of your solo music, where can they do so?
Just elliehart.bandcamp.com. I don't have a lot of official recordings right now, but I'm working on it. We're in the process.
We're in the process. And of course, you can always just watch this Live and Loud episode over and over again if you are interested. That's always a perfectly viable option.
That you can.
Awesome. Well, Ellie, thank you so much for coming on the show. We have been very, very glad to have you. And for the viewers at home, thank you so much for watching and for tuning in to Live and Loud. Once again, I've been Dawn Violet Todd with the one and only Ellie Hart for Live and Loud and BG Falcon Media.
WBGU 88.1 FM, Bowling Green, Ohio.
dishes staying dirty. We're running out of soap, reaching out for anything but not holding on to hope. Scrape my knees on concrete, spill blood across the floor, took a bath.